Extrema. Basically extremes of minimums and maximums. There's two types, which is relative and absolute. Now, depending on the equation and if it's a closed or open invertible, can determine if it's relative and absolute. Relative just means in this area what is a relative extrema, while absolute is the absolute extrema. For example, on x squared at 0, it's a minimum, it's the absolute minimum of this whole equation. But if I told you on the interval -1 to 2, yes, 0 is still the absolute extrema of minimum, but it's also still the relative minimum, and 2 is also the absolute extrema for that interval. Okay, so if you take x cubed, which goes like that, and I said from -1 to 1, -1 would be the absolute minimum extrema, while -1 would be the maximum absolute extrema. And hopefully this makes sense. So if I take something like this, and I said from here to here, I don't even care what that is. Right here is higher than here, just so y'all know. Let's go with that. So this will be the, on our equation, the relative extrema, because we don't know where this goes past. This probably goes past like this, but right here it's not. So this is the relative extrema. And on here, this is the relative minimum extrema. It's not the absolute. For this interval, this is absolute and this is absolute. But for the whole equation, it's a relative. Okay? That's basically all there's relative and absolute extrema. Background music by your favorite Martian. Goodbye.